it won't come again.
Ross on crazy,
I
Ross
told you
on
I
crazy,
wasn't playing.
Ross on crazy.
Let's go, let's get it.
Ross on crazy, Ross on crazy, Ross on crazy.
Let's go, let's get it.
Ross on crazy, Ross on crazy, Ross on crazy.
Let's go, let's get it.
What's good, everybody? It's Ross. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy New Year. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. Yeah, I'm back. We moved, and a lot of good things is happening right now. So, yeah, I am making a video and just trying to get back into the swing of things. And so I saw this on my feed about Jay-Z has fled the country after allegedly being on the Epstein files. And I'm just going to start this video off by saying my opinion is going to possibly differ from you. And I'm just giving you a heads up now for my new subscribers and old subscribers. I know in the hip hop community, Jay-Z can do no wrong. Jay-Z has become some kind of messiah, some kind of demigod, if you will, and anything that he is involved in, people just don't even acknowledge. It's almost like we need Jay-Z to be successful and pure and amazing. And anyway, I'm just gonna say off the bat, I am not surprised by any of this happening right now with Jay-Z. That's what I'm just gonna say right now. So we're gonna watch a little bit of this video for people who don't know what's going on. And also for me, I'm sure there's some information going on here that I might not know about. But yeah, allegedly Jay-Z has left the country. And yeah, we'll start from here.
Everyone saw the headline. Jay-Z leaves the country. New Epstein files drop. But what almost no one noticed, the exact timeline. Because once you line up the dates, the movement, and the silence, this stops looking like a vacation and starts looking like strategy. Here's what we know from public record. January 2025. A new batch of unsealed documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein case gets released to the public. We're talking court filings, flight logs, names that had been redacted for years suddenly out in the open. The media cycle explodes. Social media goes nuclear, and within days, Jay-Z is spotted outside the United States. Now on the surface, that doesn't sound like much. The man travels. He's a billionaire. He's got business interests across the globe. He owns a champagne brand. He's got stakes in entertainment companies. He's married to literally Beyonce. International travel is part of the job description. But here's the thing people missed. The timing wasn't just close. It was immediate. And for someone who's built an entire empire on calculated moves and image control, that kind of urgency, that's not random. Let's rewind for a second because this isn't the first time Jay-Z's name has floated around Epstein-adjacent conversations. Back in 2020, when Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested, forums and gossip pages started connecting dots. Not because Jay was named in anything official, he wasn't, but because of proximity, events, parties, the kind of elite circles where Epstein operated before his arrest and eventual death. We're talking about fundraisers in the Hamptons, galas in Manhattan. Within 48 hours of the files going public, Jay-Z is photographed overseas. Reports say Europe. Some outlets claim it's business related, something about meetings for his cognac brand or music ventures. Others suggest it's a family trip, quality time with Beyonce and the kids. But here's what nobody's talking about. The complete absence of any statement from his camp. No denial, no clarification, no press release saying these rumors are baseless.
That part right there, him not jumping right out front, right out the gate with that, you know, I mean, when you think about it, that's what he did when that young lady was alleging him and P. Diddy raped her, right? And Jay-Z, like within 2 hours, within 3 hours, there was already a statement, saying this is wrong. I would never do this and that, this and that, this and that. And he got ahead of it, which I think was good PR for him to kind of, it makes him look innocent. It makes him look legit in a way. So, and people bought that. And it's always about public perception You know, it's rarely about what's going on in the courtroom. It's really based on how the masses view you. So I'm noticing not a lot of people on YouTube are really talking about Jay-Z fleeing. You know, we're talking about a lot of stuff, a lot of other things. So, you know, maybe it's just too new for people and they're trying to get adjustment. But I definitely think that there's a worship culture, and Jay-Z is like the cream of the crop. I think everyone is hoping and praying for a Jay-Z interview. And so they're just keeping their chips, and they're not going to try to rock the boat, you know, about this man. But he's going down. So, you know, obviously I know this is all alleged. I know that this is him being on the Epstein files is an FBI report, you know, of someone saying he was involved with Epstein, I think, drugging this young lady, and this is back in 1996. I think 1996. I don't know how popular he was in 1996, but I definitely am not gonna cancel it out just because he wasn't a famous millionaire, billionaire. You know, a lot of people are saying, why would he be out with these millionaires and billionaires in 1996? Nobody knew him. 1996, he was still pretty popular. I mean, that was the year Pac passed away, and I know that Jay-Z was relevant, so he could have easily been in these rooms with people trying to make a name for himself, and he has to play these games that these elites with these cults and whatever dark demon shit they got going on. I feel that Jay-Z, Pusha T, I saw Pusha T's name on there. I'm surprised by that because I don't really see his name in anything, but I'm not surprised with Jay-Z. I'm not surprised with Jay-Z at all, like at all. So it's very likely that he was in these spaces. Like, so let's not cancel that out, you know. So a lot of people are coping. I think most people outside of hip hop that aren't like just honestly sucking up to this guy, right? We all are like, yeah, that makes sense. We are totally not surprised he's on Epstein list. I think he's on more lists. So it's just a matter of when, you know. I'm surprised I didn't see Beyonce on there. You know, I've heard some conspiracy things with Beyonce. I think that would break the internet. If anything happened with Beyonce, I think it would just break the entire internet. I don't even think people would accept it, even if she did anything or was involved with anything, with any minors. I don't think people would accept it. People would not accept it as reality. People would just log out. I can't even imagine. So I think Jay-Z is, you know, he's probably the scapegoat in a lot of these situations.
No Instagram post, no tweet, nothing. And for someone who's handled PR crises with surgical precision for decades, someone who turned the elevator incident into album material, someone who responded to infidelity rumors with an entire artistic redemption arc, someone who's always controlled the narrative, this silence. It's deafening. Let's talk about optics, because in celebrity crisis management, there's a playbook. It's not complicated. You either get ahead of the story or you disappear until it dies. Jay chose option 2, but here's the problem. The internet doesn't let stories die anymore, not like it used to. In 2005, you could lay low for 2 weeks and the news cycle would move on. In 2025, the story follows you. It mutates, it grows. Reddit threads started compiling every public appearance Jay ever made at galas, fundraisers, industry events, cross-referencing them with known Epstein connections. Were they at the same events, the same parties? Did they have mutual friends in common? Again, none of this is evidence of wrongdoing. None of it proves anything illegal or even unethical. But in the court of public opinion, proximity is enough to fuel suspicion. And the longer Jay stayed silent, the louder the speculation got. Here's where the story shifts from celebrity gossip.
That's the thing with Jay-Z. I think people just need to understand proximity. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. And this is the biggest signal you can see. You have to just literally not want to see the signal in this situation when it comes to Jay-Z. Like, when there's smoke, there's fire. His proximity with P. Diddy, his proximity with Epstein, his proximity with Weinstein, it's come on. Like, come on. like, let's be real. Like, let's be real here. I know this is a lot of y'all's heroes, a lot of y'all's daddy. I know. You know, it's heartbreaking to see that. But we kind of have to just accept it. And I think news like this, right? How does this impact our life? You know, this doesn't impact my life that much, but I know a lot of us love Jay-Z. You know, like, I've talked about this a lot, how these black celebrities, they're here to create distraction. They're here to create chaos. They're here to guide us in a way that is not beneficial in our life. And I'm talking specifically to Black Americans. I feel like every celebrity group has assignments, you know, from the people that they are getting money from, the people that are letting them in on these businesses. Because these celebrities, these black celebrities, they don't hold real power. You know, sure, he might be a billionaire, maybe, but that capital was from him being at the right place, doing favors for people. Obviously, he's a talented rapper, but there's a ton of talented people out there that don't get any shine. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations where you are officially part of a circle, a cool kids club, if you will, and you have access to things, but that does not mean it's yours. So I believe that in order for him to make money, he has to do things to drive people out. You know, and I've always been on this tip when it came to the Colin Kaepernick situation, how Jay-Z just completely torpedoed it with his presence and given the you know, whatever, the title to control or be the creative director of the Super Bowl halftime show. And it's like it just allows us to not fight politically or see the bigger picture. I mean, we were like black people, we were all like protesting the NFL, and then Jay-Z just came in, and now we're like, oh, but Jay-Z's the halftime. Like things are moving differently. One black person, one celebrity is not the representation of justice. Justice is about a collective uplift. You know, a political initiative that impacts people collectively, not a black celebrity and his manager and his little team. I'm talking about the everyday person being able to see benefit from that political, you know, advocacy. And this is just nonsense that Jay-Z has been off the hook for so much, and he does not care about y'all. He does not care about y'all. Like the Barclays Center, where he was part owner of the Mets in the 2000s, and he encouraged the team to move to the center to Brooklyn. And this caused a huge issue with relocating the residents there and contributing to gentrification and displacing people. Also, his ties with the gambling websites and the gambling apps and the casinos. I mean, it's all of that is, it sounds like it's detrimental to the black community. Like literally all those things negatively impact black people as a whole. So he has not done anything to be worshipped or highly respected at all. I'm sorry, you know, so I'm not sorry. What the hell am I talking about? You know, so we have to understand when there's smoke, there's fire. Okay. And the key word for Jay-Z is proximity. That's what I'll say. The key word for Jay-Z is proximity.
To something else entirely. Power, control, and the limits of image management. Because Jay-Z's entire brand is built on being untouchable. The man who came from Marcy Projects and became a billionaire. The one who went from selling drugs to selling out stadiums. The one who married the biggest pop star.
And that I think this is why the elites chose him, is like this reason right here.
Being untouchable. The man who came from Marcy Projects and became a billionaire. The man who came from Marcy Projects and became a billionaire.
This is what I was talking about, how they choose, these elites, the Elons of the world, the people that are moving the chessboard and they have pawns. They need people like Jay-Z to exist. They do not want another Martin Luther King. They do not want another Malcolm X. They don't want black folks to ever do what we were doing in the 60s and 70s, where we looked at our situation and we knew that we had to make a change. They brought in celebrities, black celebrities, to create this fantasy for us that we don't need to fight for politics. We don't need to fight for justice for hundreds of years of being displaced and politically, economically undermined. People like Jay-Z is what they want us to focus on. Wow, this guy came from the projects. That means I can also make it in life. And the truth is 99% of y'all that's just not the case. That's not the case. We need politics. But when we have Jay-Z, it makes us go the aspirational route. If we just work hard, we will become billionaires. Look at Jay-Z. And Jay-Z is the 1% of the 1%. And of course he's a horrible person. Like, if you want to do these kind of things, do you also want to be a horrible person? You know what I mean? So anyway, let me press play, man.
Who went from selling drugs to selling out stadiums, the one who married the biggest pop star on the planet, the one who sits courtside with NFL commissioners, who rubs shoulders with presidents, who has Barack Obama's phone number. His reputation isn't just clean, it's curated, every move calculated, every narrative controlled, every controversy handled. But this is different, because unlike cheating rumors or business disputes or even the Solange elevator situation, this is about association. And in 2025, association with Epstein, even indirect, even unproven, even just perceived, is reputational poison. It doesn't matter if you never met the man. It doesn't matter if you were never on the island. If the internet decides there's a connection, if social media threads start gaining traction, if your name shows up in enough adjacent conversations, you become part of the story. So when he leaves the country right as the internet's connecting dots, it doesn't matter if there's zero evidence tying him to anything illegal. What matters is perception. And right now, the perception is this: why run if there's nothing to hide? Let's zoom out, because this isn't just about Jay-Z. It's about how celebrity works now, how power works, how accountability works or doesn't. For decades, the ultra-wealthy operated in a different ecosystem, the kind of circles where Epstein thrived. Private jets, private islands, NDAs, and silence and money that makes problems disappear. But post-2020, post-Maxwell, post-Me Too, post every single reckoning we've had in the last 5 years, the public doesn't trust that ecosystem anymore. They assume everyone in those circles knew something or ignored something or benefited from something. And that's the real threat to someone like Jay, not legal consequences.
That's facts. That's facts right now. What Jay-Z, I mean, it's just not a good look. You know, it sounds like he left, but it doesn't really mean anything at the same time. So what you do is you got to get right in front of it. Hey, we already planned this. This is a family vacation. Like, make a video, laugh at this, be like, this is ridiculous. You know, like, I don't even know who this person is. I've never met Epstein in my life. You know what I mean? Like, go that route. So the fact that he's not, like, it means there's a lot of people behind the scenes on his team that's like, wait, let's play this careful. Let's play this careful. Like, if you are not a part of this, like everyone on YouTube and the hip hop, you know, black space is trying to say, like, then it should be very easy to just jump right out in front and be like, hey, we're just going out of town as a family. This is ridiculous. You know, so
there's no evidence of those, but cultural consequences. The kind where your legacy gets reframed, where every achievement gets footnoted with, but he was connected to. Where your music still slaps, but people add a disclaimer before they defend you. Where your business empire stands, but the foundation gets questioned. That's the danger. Not prison, not lawsuits, but permanent association with something you can never fully escape. Jay-Z leaving the country doesn't prove guilt. It doesn't even suggest it legally, but it does reveal something else. Vulnerability. For the first time in years, maybe decades, Jay looks like he's reacting instead of leading, like he's on defense, like the narrative got away from him. And for someone who spent 30 years controlling every headline, every lyric, every interview, every carefully crafted moment of his public persona, that's a crisis in itself. Online, the reaction split clean down the middle. The Bayhive and Jay loyalists came out swinging. He's traveling for business. This is a reach. Y'all will believe anything. They flooded comment sections, defended him on Twitter, dismissed the speculation as baseless conspiracy theories rooted in nothing but internet boredom and a desire to tear down successful black men. And to be fair, they have a point. There is no evidence. There are no charges. There's nothing concrete connecting Jay-Z to Jeffrey Epstein beyond existing in similar wealthy circles.
So when it does happen, I'm looking forward to when more things come out where he actually was connected with Epstein. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really ready to see what kind of cope and excuses people are going to come up with.
Other side, they weren't convinced. Why leave now? Why not just address it? If there's nothing there, say it. Put out a statement. Clear the air. The fact that he hasn't, the fact that his team has gone completely radio silent, that's what's feeding the fire. Because in the absence of information, people create their own narratives, and those narratives are rarely kind. And then there's the industry, the silence from other celebrities, from collaborators, from people who've worked with Jay for years. It's loud. No one's defending him publicly, but no one's distancing either. It's like everyone's waiting to see which way this goes before they pick a side. That's how you know it's serious, when even your peers won't touch it. Control, legacy, and the difference between being powerful and being protected. For years, Jay-Z's power came from being both. He could navigate controversy, spin narratives, and come out stronger. But this is different, because the Epstein story isn't about infidelity or business deals or rap beef. It's about something the public won't forgive. And if your name gets tied to it, even tangentially, even unfairly, you can't album your way out of it. You can't drop bars about it. You can't turn it into art. It just sticks. Let's lay out the timeline one more time because the sequence matters. Day 1, Epstein files unsealed. Media frenzy begins. Day 2 and 3, Jay-Z's name starts trending in connection to the files, not because he's named, but because people are asking if he is. Day 4, Jay-Z spotted leaving the United States. No statement, no explanation. Day 5 through 7, speculation intensifies, Reddit threads, TikTok videos, Twitter debates, all of it building momentum. Day 8 and beyond, total silence from Jay's team, still overseas, still no comment. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern, and patterns tell stories. They tell us about decision making, about strategy, about fear, because that's what this looks like. Not guilt necessarily, but fear of perception, fear that even addressing it gives the story more oxygen, fear that silence is somehow safer than engagement, and maybe it is, or maybe it's the exact wrong move. So here's what we're left with. A billionaire who built his empire on control, suddenly looking like he's reacting. A public that's more skeptical than ever of the wealthy and powerful. And a story that, guilty or not, has already changed how people see him. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter if Jay-Z did anything wrong. What matters is whether people believe he did. And right now, the internet's making up its mind. Now the real question is, did leaving actually protect him? Or did it just confirm what people were already starting to think?
More than anything, it just legitimizes what most of us think. You know, he did that shit. You know what I mean? Like what 50 said with you know, in Power. You know, with Power Ghost. Yeah, Ghost season 2 or whatever. When 50 Cent was on there, he was like, he did that shit. We're not surprised if he allegedly did that shit. That's all we know. And I just want to say that let's just, for those who are the Jay loyalists, can we let's just walk it back a little bit and just change the ideas that you thought you had about Jay-Z and this person that you idolize. This person is not who you think he is. And the reason why he is as successful as he is because of his proximity to these horrible people and being a tool for degeneracy, greed, and white supremacy. That's kind of how I see it. That's just what I see it. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say about it. You know, we can't, like, I know a lot of us, you know, we're like, hey, yeah, no, we got to support him because he's black or something. Like, that's what I'm seeing. Like, people are just supporting him because, oh, trying to bring black men down. I'm not saying those things about Jay-Z or P. Diddy. Like, I'm just not giving them, oh, he's black. No. The reason why he's at where he's at is because he's definitely does not care about the black community. He is not the representation of black excellence like a lot of us want him to be. So this is completely different. We can't be okay with and accepting that Donald Trump is on there or whatever, all the other people on there, we accept that. But Jay-Z and Pusha T on there, we're like, oh, no, this is racism. They're just throwing him in on there to distract us. What would be the benefit of that? Like, what would literally be the benefit of that? So just throw an innocent guy's name? No. He's probably guilty by association. And if his name was thrown in there, that means that there's more proof that he is connected. If there is people controlling, right, which there are, the fact that the government has seen this shit and shit has been redacted is ridiculous to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, these are people who were touching and doing who the fuck knows with minors. You know what I mean? And the government is just, how have we not let that shit free? So, but anyway, the government is obviously bought and paid for. So, anyway, did not mean to make this a 29-minute video or a 30-minute video, but anyway, I think that's about it. First video coming back, just saw this, and I'm seeing nobody talk about it. And this is definitely something that I know I would talk about is Jay-Z on these Epstein files and how a lot of us are starting to cope. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day. Please subscribe. You know, hit me on Patreon as well. I'm going to be posting some content on there. And yeah, make sure you guys like the video. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.